Hey, it's Nico Barrios here with another edition of Nico's New Rides, thanks to Lakeview Ford Lincoln. This time around, we have the 2020 Ford Escape. And as we go through this video, I want you to play a little game with me. Keep it in your head how much you think this vehicle costs. And once we get to the end, I'll tell you, and I have a feeling you're going to be surprised. So the Ford Escape has been around for a while, of course, but for the 2020 model year, Ford completely revamped it, gave it a facelift, made it look really cool. As someone who is a proud owner of a 2016 Lakeview Ford Fiesta, the wide open grille on the front kind of reminds me of that, and so it brings this very modern, very stylish look to a crossover that is a lot more affordable than you might think. So for the 2020 Ford Escape SE model, that comes with adaptive cruise control, and that's a feature we've discussed before in passing with other vehicles, but this time around I actually had the chance to use it. I had to take a road trip to Portage, and it is a lot more convenient than you might really think. It just lets you set a speed you would like to be at. It lets you set how many car lengths you want to keep between you and the car in front of you, and once you set that, it'll automatically adjust your speed for you to keep that distance from the car ahead. So if you'll look here, I'm behind this truck right here, and my cruise control is set to 70, but since he's traveling slower than 70, I'm down to about 60. Now if I were to change lanes and get out from behind him, I will speed up because there's no vehicle in front of me, and it'll bring me to the speed I told it to be. The 2020 Escape SE comes with a lot more features than you might expect for what is a relatively base model vehicle. It has a 1.5 liter EcoBoost engine, which has a lot of power behind it. This thing goes very quickly, accelerates like a much smaller vehicle would. It also has all-wheel drive, which is of course incredibly important for an area like the one we live in. Lots of snow, of course, and as we're entering the winter months, that's something you're going to need to think about, especially if you are in a rear-wheel drive vehicle that slides all over the place. Ford didn't skimp on technology either when it came to the Escape SE. You've got the Sync 3 system, which is fantastic, the aforementioned adaptive cruise control. There's also the engine auto start stop we've seen in quite a few Ford vehicles now that turns the engine off when you come to a stoplight. It helps make the vehicle more fuel efficient, and this is an incredibly fuel efficient vehicle. It gets 28 combined mpg, which is fantastic for a crossover. For a comparison, my 2016 Ford Fiesta, the tiny little compact, gets 32 mpg on average according to my numbers. The 2020 Ford Escape SE doesn't really skimp on comfort either. Now, it's not a Lincoln, of course, but it has a lot more than you might expect. It's got a wonderful climate control system that lets you set your fan speed and also what temperature you want the cabin to be. It has heated driver and passenger seat. If you've never used heated seats before, it's a wonderful thing that I am going to sorely miss. So back to the game I tasked you with playing at the beginning of this video. I wanted you to pay attention to all of the features that the 2020 Ford Escape SE has to offer and think in your mind how much this vehicle costs. Well, according to the sticker, this thing costs just a few bucks, and I do mean just a few, over $30,000. Now, I kind of played this game myself on accident because as I became familiar with the features and the comfort that the Escape offers, I hadn't looked at the sticker yet. So whenever I finally got around to doing it, I was surprised. I was like, oh my goodness, that's way less than I thought a vehicle of this quality would be. Now, are there vehicles that are more affordable than this? Yeah, Ford has a few in its lineup, but are there 2020 vehicles that offer this many features for this value? I don't believe there are.